So the anticipation is building up. I'm going to get initiated, and I'm going to see Prabhupada for the first time. And then we're in Chicago, which was a little rough place, I guess, in those days. People very American in a sense and defensive about it. If you didn't dress like an American and you didn't talk like an American, then you deserve to be abused. So we were 100% the opposite of what they thought Americans should look like. So, you had a few months to adjust to that, the shock that people didn't like you because you didn't dress like them. They were brutal in Chicago. They would arrest us on Harinam, arrest us on book distribution, even though the judge would always throw it out when we come in front of the judge. And police, everyone, just went out their way to make you feel unwanted. So this is the scene, and at that time, I am 19 years old. So they decide Prabhupada's coming, and we're going to go to O'Hara Airport and greet Prabhupada in the airport with kirtan. And I'm thinking, they're going to arrest Prabhupada. I'm 19, naive, I don't, but you don't question authority there much because I'm really low on the pecking order. But in my mind, I'm thinking, they say, why are they going to the airport to do this? This is going to be. So we go to the airport. There's probably 60 to 100 devotees with kirtan in the airport. And in those days, you could go up to the terminal. And I remember, of course, when there were kirtan and the media's there, and television stations, big scene in the airport. And I particularly remember the police because we would distribute books in the airport. And so we're always conscientious of the police and trying to avoid them or what are their reactions. And I'm looking at the whole scene, and I remember the policemen just standing over there with those faces. Like, I can't believe these people, or how dare they? Even the people walking through the airport are really just giving us the look like, you people, what is wrong with you? But the devotees are absorbed in just kirtan and anticipation of waiting for Prabhupada. And even myself, it's, the first time you're going to see the pure devotee, the person you've been reading the books or the person you've been serving. And the video gave you a little sense of what he's like, but it's nothing like what it is when you see him in person. I think that was really one of the biggest realizations I got when we finally saw him. So anyway, plane lands. It's pulling up to the terminal. I believe Prabhupada came off first. I think they would give him the courtesy of coming off first. And doors are opening, and the kirtan is building up. And Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada. It's really, and then you see Prabhupada. He's in front somehow or another. Maybe I think one devotee's, but there's not any. And of course, naturally, you're going to give that big reaction like you would when you're greeting someone. But the most amazing thing to me was his reaction. When you see someone who doesn't have a false ego, when he comes through, he doesn't react the same way we would. Like if I'm coming through there and there's 100 people having kirtan for me, either you're going to big smile, oh, thank you, or you're going to act like, oh, no, I'm not affected. But there's typical reactions that everybody does, and everybody interacts like that. That's part of the social aspect of an event. Prabhupada didn't do any of those things. So it's mine, but you're stunned because I'm stunned. Look, I go, but you weren't offended. I can't describe. You have to be there. That's the only way you can describe it. You have to be there to see the interactions. Then you see that this person is transcendental. He is not ordinary. And in the video, you could see he was older, so you expect him to kind of walk like an old person. But he's walking just like a young man, with the cane. I'm thinking, he doesn't even need the cane. Why does he have it in the first place? And he's, it's just, I'm in awe. And you don't know what to do because he's not reacting the way you expect. So you just kind of stand there like this. And I see him come around the corner, and he's turning. And as he turns, I catch those policemen that were standing like this. Now all of a sudden you see them, they're serving, they're walking with Prabhupada. Step back, making everybody move. And they're totally changed. Everybody's changed. The TV reporters, all the karmis, all that defensiveness, that offensiveness, gone. And of course, you know, in the airport, at least that time, he went straight to the car, a little bit of an interview in the car, and he left and we ran back to the temple. But I remember afterwards in the airport, those policemen that were there, attitudes totally changed in the airport. They weren't anymore, you know, harassers like they used to. Well, I heard with the exception of one person, someone said, they said a few weeks later he died from heart attack. The only one that didn't change. But the rest of them, just from seeing Prabhupada once, that was it. That was it. So that's that moment's association with a pure devotee.